First and foremost, good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm live here on a Friday morning, and I think we're 2 cards away from the full reprint. Um, it's crazy to me that we don't have it yet, but it sounds like there's a lot of lost in communication, and we should have had it. No board wipe. There we go. We got some more. So no board wipe, which hopefully doesn't lead much more. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about it. There's lots to talk about this morning. I did send an invite out to Team TFM, so maybe we get some friends to come, but maybe we have some other friends. Like if you're hanging out and maybe you want to come chat, hit me up, send me a DM. We'll figure it out. But yeah, there's lots to talk about. I want to talk about this. Shout out to Orion here. I think the worst part has been the doom or gloom. So many people want to spout. And then this is the nicer way to say what Scott said, which is the whining about it. So yeah, there's like a lot, right? And I think it's a compilation of stuff, right? Very cool picture in the background. Love the mirror. Oh, thank you. Shout out to TFM Kylie. She made that. We have a bunch of different ones that we're working on getting better frames for. And then something really cool that isn't done yet that will likely also go back there. But, we're trying to make it less white. Shout out to my buddy Gene who told me it was too white, and I agree with him. Let's see. I think the lack of board wipe means control won't have anything holding mid-range in check. We'll see. We'll see. So I want to go back to Orion and Tom. Obviously, the whining about it and the doom and gloom, right? I think that these are both really fair points. And I think that it's like not shocking, right? And that's like the hard truth is that it's a rotation. We've spent a year, 2 years getting to love some of the particular cards that are being rotated out. I feel like this game, more than any other game I've ever played, is like huge attachments to a specific archetype. And I don't know if that's true or fair, but that's just what it feels like to me. It feels like the game was so invested in these particular archetypes that if that is what you attach yourself to, you just never got away from it. There are very few players that have seen success in Disney Lorcana across multiple decks. A lot of the most successful players, and this is a credit to them. They were talking about players that are some of the best in the world, arguably, like DKP. He attached himself to Ruby Sapphire from day one, and he ran with it until he won a world championship. Ed Chu, right? He attached himself to Ruby Amethyst, and most of his success came with playing Ruby Amethyst. And this is just like a couple options. Like I could go on and on, but it's really the concept of like so many players did that. And I think that that's what hurts them with rotation the most is that they're now seeing this world where they don't have a comfort pick anymore. Now we have to figure out a new comfort pick. We have to kind of just like go through those training wheels again, right? And put them back on our bike and start riding it until we find a new comfort zone. And I think that that's what a lot of the doom and gloom is about, because this is just card games. Guys, I've been playing card games for 25 years. I have played through tons of rotations in tons of different games. Like this is just another day, okay? And I know that's not the same for everyone, and I totally understand that, which is what I'm trying to get to, is that it's going to be okay. There was a time in the past where you didn't have a deck that you played every single day, every single week, etc. Like you had a period of time before where you learned a new deck and you like gravitated towards something different, or you were excited about something different. And I know that there's a lot of like not exciting things about Fabled, and I totally understand that. But you have to look at this like this is the next chapter, no pun intended, but like it is, right? And that's just where we are. You know, like the game is not going anywhere. Maybe the format isn't as fun, and that's like a really fair argument. Maybe there's a lot of like worry about the format, and that is also completely fair. But what I can tell you with absolute certainty is that the best players are going to figure it out. The best players are probably not going to concede to the fact that aggro is the greatest deck on planet Earth, and they're going to find ways to interact with it, and it's going to be okay. it's going to be okay. Let me roll up here. Let's see. We have some friends. What up, Dragon Johns? I'm fine. Let's see if you guys can beat me without blue red. I know I can. I know I can. What about beat you even with? Oh, there you go. That sounds like a challenge. That sounds like a challenge. Yeah, I mean the enchanted's guys, I don't even know. This might easily be the best enchanted's of every set. I don't know. Like it's hard to compare, but it feels like every single one of them is a banger. And I mean that. Like an absolute banger. This is where I think it's tough. And I also can say like, hey, A, we don't have a full reveal yet. B, we don't even have the art for cards in most cases. Like Dreamborn, you can't even build decks yet. You know, there's a lot of things here that come into play, and I'm not worried about any of those things. You know, like we got 2 weeks till Fabled releases, and guess what? We're hosting an event on August 30th in Jenkintown, PA. You know, if you guys want to take a look at that and you want to enjoy it with me, then that is great. But I'll share the link real quick for anyone that's interested in that. It's also a pro play qualifier. So the winner will win a buy to PPG Denver. So if you're coming to hang out with us, and I'm excited because, you know, this is something we do every event. Like every single set, we host an event on average. Either we host an event or we travel to an event that is hosting the new cards. But I'm more excited now because this is an event that, you know, you have us, you have Star City Games, that opening, not Star City Games, Southside Gaming. So Southside Gaming, TFM, we're pretty much the daring dogs of the format. We always host these events opening weekend, and we basically set a precedent for the format, right? Like these are two events that we normally average 60 players, but this time I ran at a community hall, and we have room for 128 players. So we're looking for a pretty large tournament. SSG can hold about 150 players. So you're talking about 2 events of 100 players or more, that's setting the precedent in week 1. Week 2, you got Ink, you got CCS. Week 3, you got Pro Play Games. Week 4, I think you have Stockholm. Like, there's so much to do in the first month before we ever get to a Disney Lorcana challenge, right? And because of that, I'm not worried about the format. There's not enough time to even think about worrying for the format. If we get to Stockholm, right, which I think is the first CCQ, I might be one before that, I can't remember, but if we get to Stockholm and the format doesn't look like it evolved at all and it looks scary and problematic, then like, yeah, maybe we'll worry about it. But the benefit to this is that if like in week 1 and week 2 it looks like there's a gigantic problem, by the time we get to DLC Bologna, there might be a ban list. Like if you guys remember in set 7, you know, within 5 weeks of set release, they banned Hiram. They banned Fortisphere. So if there's something truly that problematic in the format, there's a lot of time for it to be figured out before we get to a DLC. And that's why I'm just not worried about it. You know, I'm just not. But I don't know. I'm going to catch up on some chat here. There's a lot of chat. Shout out to you guys in chat already, hanging out. As usual, aggro will kill it in the beginning, and great minds out there. Exactly, 100%. You got the right attitude. I'm excited to play different ink combinations like Amber Sapphire. I hope you're right. I'm ready for an aggro build. I think there's more than that. I think Fabled would have more old school artworks and iconic of Steam, like the iconics of Steamboat Mickey. So art's tough, you know. I think that the one thing that people don't realize about Disney Lorcana is the art approvals for the game take a really long time. And like, it's probably very difficult to consistently put out 4 sets a year with 205 new cards, 206 new cards, all the new enchantments, like 220 new cards, like all that is like on a nice timeline and system. And, sometimes you just have to like roll with what you have. And I think that that's like a lot of tribute of like what could have happened here. Like the idea that we have so many reprints of the same ink or of the same artwork is interesting, but that's the only thing I can think of is that, like, in the end, maybe there was something to do with artwork and like, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. But what I will say is that the new enchantments for older cards are phenomenal. I wonder how much of that was stuff that we had in the past that they were just waiting to use for something because it sounds great. I love that the new cards themselves all look very, very good. So I think that like it would have been nicer to have like even just I don't want to say a gold border or something like that, but just like maybe like a more gold shading to the cards. And hey, listen, I haven't seen a card in person yet, right? So like we might grab a card and you might notice a difference. That's still possible. Who knows? Last 2 cards get revealed. Vanilla, 1-drop, 1/3 Olaf. Does anyone have thoughts on what should have been reprinted? They just got revealed? Cool. So it's the Hugs Olaf and Steamboat Mickey. I feel like we knew about Steamboat Mickey because of the packs, right? Like there's an artwork of a Steamboat Mickey on a pack. I thought that that's what happened. So I'm not shocked about that one at all. Whew. I am glad that rotation was not the reason I decided to play a different deck. I've started to enjoy so many more decks. Some sets I choose a pet deck, and sometimes I play every deck I can. Like this set champs, I played 5 different decks. Most of them I only played one time. Love it. Where was this at? Good morning, Braden. Welcome. There will be more of them, I promise. Rotation enables lots of decks that couldn't be played well in the past. I've been enjoying races. I agree. I am here for the new decks. I'm actually, to double down on this, I am looking specifically, I believe tomorrow we're going to have an Amethyst Steel guide come out for a video. And I think I'm going to do 6 of those videos very similar to that one. And there are some new ink combinations that I am very excited about playing. So like tomorrow is just like, hey, TFM, we're Amethyst Steel here. I believe that we like made that deck famous. That's my humble opinion. You can agree or disagree. That's fine. But I believe last, at DLC Vegas and onward, like we were Team Amethyst Steel. So I'm excited to do more decks. I think that there are really cool things that happen in rotation, and the less power and like honestly the stranglehold that certain decks had on the format is really nice. That's probably not true anymore, and now we do have room for other decks that kind of come to the forefront. I'm very, very excited for it, in all honesty. What is the future of Amber Steel songs? Currently, there isn't one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, if the full reprint is out and your Steel songs are Strength of a Raging Fire, yeah, that's it, right? I know there's some other ones, but yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Let the Storm Rage On is gone. Long King Zeus is gone. Whole New World is gone. Like, that deck does not have an identity anymore. In all honesty, it's very likely that a completely other ink combination that's not Steel will be the new song deck, which, as I just said, I'm interested for. I think that's a good thing. I'm not saying that Powerline is necessarily like S tier, right? But his concept and what he gives to the game is so different. It's something that we haven't seen. So I'm very excited. I understand, there's Amber Steel Tryhard. I get it. Like there's stands out there, and you have a cult, and you have a fan. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. But if you like singing songs, unfortunately, I don't think that Amber Steel Songs is going to be the deck that does that anymore. But it's okay. That's Disney. It's card games. We move on. We move forward. We kind of fall in love with new characters for new reasons. And that's what I'm hopeful that will happen. I think players will, once they get over the shock of saying, man, I don't have a whole new world anymore. I don't have Let the Storm Rage on. I don't have the Zoo. Like, once they get over that shock and they start looking at the newer options, they start playing the newer format, they get more interested like in these cool new things that we have never done before. Hopefully that love comes back, and maybe it won't be for songs this time around. Like, maybe you find a new attachment, you find a new love. What I can say for sure is that it will probably not be items. I think items are way worse off than songs. Like, the amount of playable items in the format has got to be like less than 5. Like, it's pretty rough. So imagine if you were a Ruby Sapphire item fan or like an Emerald Sapphire item fan. Like, imagine how those people feel. Probably a lot worse. I'm just being real. Epic treatment for vanilla cards sucks. This is tough. I don't know, man. Like, when I think about the extra rarity cards, right? And I think about epics and I think about enchanteds, I don't really look at them of like, hey, every one of these has to be a banger, right? Like, every one of these has to be this competitive card. Because in all honesty, in my humble opinion, as players, as competitive players, you're not really the target audience for booster packs, right? Like, in most cases, I would say probably about 75% of competitive players honestly might not buy more than one box of cards. They might only buy singles. So therefore, they're not really even targeting this lottery pick of these new cards and this new rarity. So it doesn't actually matter if it's competitive or not, because the truth is that the targeted audience for that is the social player, right? Like, it's that player that they go to their local stores, they play a couple games, they buy a couple packs, they open them, they get excited. They're for family nights, right? Like, families of 3, 4 get around a table, they get their product and they start opening everything up. They get that joy and excitement for whatever they open, if I'm being honest. But it even helps further when you have a like a particular character that may not have had an alternate art card or something like that. So when you look at some of those things and say, oh, this is an epic because this is a vanilla, it's like, well, it's fine if it's a card that is a specific character that has not really gotten that much love. Like, how many characters in the game only have like one card, right? That card could be someone's favorite card. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter. But if it's that person's favorite card, then like somebody out there is the audience for it. And I think that that's what the epics are for. The epics are for the audience of players that really just get excited opening packs, and they just want that extra burst of enjoyment from it. And I think that that's why it's okay for it to be vanilla. Is like I'm totally fine with it. I think it's exciting that we have a prospect of an you know what's crazy? Oh, all right. This might be the first official hot take, guys. Okay. For the longest time in Disney Lorcana, and listen, there might be people here today that were not here 2 years ago in August, and that's cool. Welcome. Thank you. But the real hard truth is that before the game was even released, we had a digital client. Its name was Pixelborn. You now know it as a webcam format. But for a very long time, it was a digital client. And for about 4 or 5 metagames, most of the metagame was solved before the set came out. Or at least the early goings, the influence, I should say, on the metagame was started from a digital client. Which, for a paper card game, it's not uncommon, but it's also a bit, unsettling in a way. The idea now that we are going to a rotation format without a true digital client, that you have streamers streaming 6, 7, 8 hours a day, it's not enough for the average player to like play enough games to have an educated choice, an educated decision. Like, there's a lot of things that go into that the digital client really just kind of took away from everyone, because it gave too much power to people with time, and then not to mention people with influence. So because of that, I'm very excited again for the rotation format, is that we just don't have that same tools. We don't have that same influence. There's not enough ways to really spread it across. And that's why I think it's the most interesting, is that in this format with honestly, I don't know, like the majority of the best cards ever printed in Disney Lorcana removed from the format, we get to, as a community, solve it together. And that is very exciting to me. I agree. We got Melissa, TFM Melissa in the house. Hello, Melissa. How are you? The reuse of art isn't really an issue. Reprint sense, I totally agree. I do really like the Scar Enchanted. All the enchantments are bangers. Like I don't even know if there's a bad one. Like even that beast enchanted is absolute fire. The Jasmine enchanted, absolute fire. It's just they're all so good. They're all so good. Circle of Life with Big Mickey self-discard. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. I love it. Welcome, welcome. Warm hugs, Olaf, and thank you, Melissa. I'm catching up. I'm like really far behind because I've been trying to work through this. Looks like we are missing one steel uncommon still. Is this fact? All right, I believe you. Circle of Life, Kristoff. Interesting. Just play evasive aggro. Could be a thing. The Mob Song. Yeah. That is a song. What do you think it'll be? What do we think? Do we really not know? Are we still actually missing an uncommon? I know if Melissa's here, she'll confirm. She's been the tracker for TFM. Every single day she sends me an updated list of like what we're missing. So if there is one more to go, Melissa knows about it for sure. Sing Together is busted. Sing Together is all right. Sing Together has always been busted. The problem is that all the other removal made it so singers just didn't do anything. But now we're going into a format where I think in a lot of cases there will be boards that stand still and they just stare at each other. So because of boards like that, there is legitimate incentive potentially to a card like Mob Song. Now, at the end of the day, it's like a 10 cost uninkable. Ursula Deceiver still got reprinted, so I don't know if I really want to play a 10 cost uninkable in my deck. That's kind of where I'm at, but there is theoretical incentive that this card could be fine. We also have cards like Mulan. We have cards like Namari, right? Like, there's plenty of options also to like discard the card when we know it's bad and we know we can't get to it, which I think is also relevant. But in general, Sing Together, the mechanic of Sing Together, from the moment I read it, I was like, wow, this is like, it's so Disney, right? Like, I know that I'm not the biggest Disney fan. I get all that, right? Like, I'm not trying to preach that, but like the fact that they could come up with a mechanic for the game and it be like so well themed to it and also powerful. I mean, tribute to the game devs, right? Like, shout out to the game devs. Let's take a drink for them, right? Because that's awesome. Like, that takes so much like thought and skill to hit that correctly that I love that. If you guys watched my video about the cards that like I really wanted to be reprinted, I pushed for Sing Together in a ton of ways because I do think that now we are in a position where Sing Together is much better. And I do think that we're in a position where you can actually utilize the cards as they were meant to be. And I think that that's the most exciting thing. So I'm definitely excited for Sing Together. I'm throwing out a downgraded rarity of Grab Your Shards as an uncommon, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Beyond the Horizon turn 4 isn't bad, and it still has World's Grace coming really relevant. Yeah, but I think like the problem with that, right? And like don't get me wrong, there is the Amber Steel like hand disruption deck that was going around for this Reign of Jafar set championships, which was Beyond the Horizon. Look at this family. And like those cards are still here. We can still play that, but we don't have You Have Forgotten Me. We don't have Bare Necessities, right? So you still have to figure out another way to kind of utilize those cards. And then the other problem with that is that if we're setting up in this current format, I know that a lot of people probably have not played a game yet of the rotation format, but shout out to Braden. He started like a post rotation thing probably about a month ago now, I think. And it's something that I've been paying attention to. It's something that the team has been paying attention to, and the team has been doing our own testing and things like that. And if your lines of play are like turn 2 Stinger, turn 3 Singer, turn 4 Sing, it means that you have not interacted with the board and you're probably dead. So this turn 4, like Beyond the Horizon concept, it might only be good into a very small section of the metagame to start. Now, I'm not saying we can't get there. I'm not saying that the metagame doesn't figure itself out and aggro is not as like prevalent and things like that. And then maybe this becomes like a real option, which would be awesome. It would not shock me if we get to that point. Let's put it that way. But it's still a gamble. So nonetheless, just kind of giving you a preface of like, hey, if you do nothing on turn 2 and nothing on turn 3, and then on turn 4, you're just like playing this card that like does something, you're probably dead. I'm just being real. It's an action, so smash or break. Oh god, break would be bad. Let's not hope it's break. Let's hope it's not break. My new love is Daisy. Daisy Duck? Question mark. So ready for AR songs will be awesome. I hope so. I hope so. My only hope for the game is that mid-range control still be viable in a meta. Listen, they have all the right tools. It's going to be fine. I promise you. We'll figure it out. All right. We'll do it together if we have to. We'll figure it out. I promise. I'll make RB items work somehow. Orion, as your teammate and your friend, please don't. Thank you. Nala is cracked. Daisy with magical feather. No. I don't even know. Just no. Sad to leave Lorcana, but it's time. Ravensburger has burned my decks multiple times. This is ridiculous. It's an interesting take. Astro, if you're still here, I just caught up. I want to have a chat, okay? My first question is this. Is this your first card game? If it is, I understand. I understand the pain. I understand that hurt. But what I can say is that if you love Disney Lorcana, then hopefully it's not about a singular card. And if it is, I get that as well. I understand. And that does suck because it's no fun. It's no fun to build a deck and then it'd be taken away and then build another deck and then be taken away. It's not fun, right? Like I totally get those things. If you were a Ruby Sapphire fan, if you were a Sapphire Steel fan and you were very invested in, the items variants and now you feel hopeless, I think that that's a fair way to feel. And my only hope for it is that you can find another way to enjoy the game. And that's what it is. And then listen, Infinity is a format. Like it is in week 1, SSG holding an Infinity tournament. In week 2, Inking holding Infinity tournaments. I don't think that the format is not going to be fueled or represented. So like if you don't want to play Core Constructed, that's totally fine, in all honesty. I mean, it might be difficult if I'm being completely honest, because I think that the majority of local game stores, I think set championships, like I think a lot of those like low-level events will all be Core Constructed. But it's not to say that Infinity is just going to go away. I expect for some digital client to probably have its own Infinity ladder. Those are things that I kind of expect to happen. So if Infinity is what you enjoy, don't lose hope. It's there. It'll be there. I personally am not excited at all for Infinity. I'm just like not interested in the format because there's not a lot of stake in it. I'm going to Ink, but I'm not even going to play in the Infinity on Sunday. Like I just don't want to do it. I'm just going to go home and enjoy my Sunday probably. But like if that's what you are interested, if that's what you like, then you can make that same choice and say like all I'm going to care about is Infinity. Like that's the best part about having multiple formats. It's like a kind of a pro and con, if I'm being honest. Like the pro is the players that like that format have that format and they can enjoy it. The con is that it does create this weird separation of the community, specifically if one format is better than another format, which is also like always a true debate, if I'm being completely honest. But in Magic the Gathering, they have Legacy, they have Vintage, they have Commander, they have Modern, they have Standard. Like they have all these different types of communities, which is why that game is so large, because they can hit so many different types of people. In our game, we basically have only had Core Constructed for the first 2 years. So now moving forward, we have Core Constructed and we have Infinity. And I'm hoping, judging off Luca's conversation in the game dev room about set 10 with Whispers in the Wind being more focused on limited. I'm hoping that we eventually get to this point where like limited also is like its own little bulk community. Shout out to Heath from Be Our Guest. He does a whole thing on it every set, but it's one of those where like we have been so contained to just core constructed for 2 years that this is going to be the first time that we get to embrace a new type of format and like a new type of community. And I think that you will see that happen. There will be a slight division in the community as time goes on based on which format is more fun to play. It will happen. With my AR deck list, it can possibly lure out turn 4 if planet. Yeah, I'm sure. That's not shocking to me. What are your thoughts on the huge price spikes? Tiana, restaurant owner, Rapunzel, High Climber, Maui Half Shark. These cards are good. That's it. In all honesty, like it's one of those where I don't want to say the rich get richer, but I want to say that the people that have been paying attention and the people that have been like already invested in the format, they're making out right now. I'm going to be humble. Like, it's just a fact. Like anyone that went out and said, you know what, Tiana's going to be a house a month ago, and they bought Tiana's for, I don't know, $8, $9, and now they're seeing them at $20, $25, maybe $30. That's not shocking. Maui Shark has always been a card. I mean, this has always been a card that has ranged around $40 to $50 to $60. Like, so the fact that all you needed was to say, hey, if Maui Shark was the 10th best card in the game, and we just removed 8 of the best 10 cards that were above it in the game, well, that means Maui Shark is like a top 3 card in the game, right? So, like, obviously, this card just goes to the moon. And it's really just it's like a FOMO almost, right? Like, it's this fear of missing out of like, wow, if I don't get this card right now, I don't know like what it's going to cost then. And that's just like literally what happens is that Tiana, they're like, oh, I better go get these Tianas now. I better go get these Maui Sharks now. The Rapunzel, is that the Emerald Evasive Rapunzel? I think that's what that one is, the High Climber. Yeah, these are just cards. Well, I mean, obviously Maui's the exception here. Tiana, Rapunzel. I'm sure there's like another one out there that I'm not thinking of right now. Like these are legendaries that just didn't see a lot of play because there wasn't room for them. And now they're just like you remove 10 of the best cards of the game, you're like, well, okay, what are the next best 10? Well, that's what happens. Like Clarabelle is one for me. Like, you know, that legendary Clarabelle has a very high opportunity cost to become a $40 or $50 legendary. So like if they're still sitting around $20 and you don't have them, I'd go buy them just in case. Like that's my tip of the hat to you, is that I would be shocked if in the next year Clarabelle doesn't become one of the best cards in Disney Lorcana just because her ability is that good. It might not be that great in an aggressive Fabled rotation, but like set 10 could come, more tools can come out, more control tools can come out, and all of a sudden Clarabelle becomes a $50, $60 legendary. So those are things that I would look at. And then really there's a ton of those cards. You know, spoiler, we had a whole article in the finance guide that we have on the Metafy where Scott listed like, I don't even know, like 30 cards. And yeah, all of them went up. So if you want those type of finance tips, then you should probably check out the finance guide on Metafy, because that's what Scott does. He researches and he does those things. So like there's definitely a lot of opportunity cost there for that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked at all by prices going up. Nabbed, my Tiana is just in time. Smart man. I'm ride or die vanilla characters. Ride or die. How are you ride or die? What? I don't even know what this means. Sorry, Braden. I don't know what this means. What do you mean unsolved? I solved it. You didn't solve anything. Sorry, kid. You didn't solve anything. Love you though. I love to see that list. I'm Sputicus. New follow here. Keep up the good work, brother. Thank you. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying your morning. Blast from the past and no. Thoughts on Ruby Steel? Looks like it's going to have a chance, especially in the amount of aggro in the meta. I think Ruby Steel is going to be good. I think there's absolutely a deck that will be Ruby Steel, and I think it'll be fine. And I think that that's awesome for Disney Lorcana. It's really awesome for Snake Chips, who might not be here right now, but he has been playing Ruby Steel since like December or something like that and had success with it. But yeah, I think that that is good for Disney Lorcana. And I don't think it's possible without rotation. I think that if we don't have a rotation and they don't like instead just ban, I don't know, like 30 cards, decks like Ruby Steel never have a chance. Decks like Emerald Ruby, which I know, bit of an outlier, just recently won, you know, like a 70-person tournament last month. Totally tribute to Cody. But like decks like Emerald Ruby don't really have a chance. Amber Ruby, you know, honestly has never really been that good of a deck since like chapter 1. And in that metagame, there wasn't even enough time to like figure that out. Amber Sapphire, like there's so many of these decks that they just, the power level did not meet what was possible for it to be successful. And now we're finally going to see that. And I'm very excited for that for sure. It's Smash. All right. I think we're waiting on one steal. Yes. Okay. All right. We've confirmed. Everyone think, is it Smash? Did it get confirmed? Did I miss it? Downgraded a whole new world. Bro, they already confirmed it wasn't. All right. They already confirmed it wasn't. Sing Together now has both songs and characters that encourage you to sing together with more characters that are necessary to sing the song. True. Fact. In your dreams. Exactly. I'm with you. I haven't seen the video myself, but the word going around is it's Smash. All right. There's a lot of Smash. Everybody's smashing. Turn 1, Mulan, discard Giant Mickey. Turn 2, Vanessa. Turn 3, Circle of Life. I hope so. This sounds awesome. I love Christmas. My deck list is being shared with uninkable dads when Fabled is on Dreamborn, but let's just say it involves cards being slept on. I think there are lots of cards being slept on. I want Mr. Smee. I think we all do, and I think that's probably not going to happen. Not only is Infinity format, but Whispers in the Well comes in a few months. The meta can dude, 10 weeks, okay? Like we only have 10 weeks. Now, granted, in that 10 weeks, there is a lot of Disney Lorcana. So I feel like these 10 weeks are going to go by like this. Like even for me, hosting an event week 1, right? In Jenkintown, PA. Hosting or going to Ink week 2. Hosting PPG Denver in week 3. Take a few weeks off, travel to DLC Bologna, take a week off, travel to DLC Milwaukee. So like in 10 weeks, for 5 of them, I'm already booked doing something. It's a busy fall, guys. Like it's a busy fall. Same Infinity is meant to me. Yeah, I'm with you. Infinity will be prevalent the 3rd. Yeah, exactly. So I don't have to care about Infinity until like March. I just don't care. I don't need to care. Whisper in the Well. Did I say it wrong? $3 Tiana? That's hot. That's hot. Wait, you bought a playset for $10? That's sick. Appreciate you guys. Unrelated. Dan has 8 Clarabelles for sale. I might. The entire market is so up a little bit jaded from this point. That's fair. What do you think of Ruby Sapphire overall? Like without, I think Ruby Sapphire is in danger. Yeah. I hope it stays that way. But I have faith that someone will figure it out. I do have faith. It's not going to be me because I don't want it to be figured out. But I have no doubt that someone will make it work. Someone. I played Amber Ruby this set. Got top 24. Got top in a 24-person set champ. It was a lot of thinking. I love it. I love it. They have to pivot. They probably won't be meta and will still be fun. I think Ruby Steel Song seems better than Ruby Steel Challenger base deck. I don't know if I agree with that. Turn 1 Milan, discard me. Oh, we keep doing it. We got it. We got it. Nice. Come get more practice before Lonia in Detroit. No. Bro, I got kids, all right? I got to be home sometimes. Card Doyle decks, yes, please. Maybe. I don't know. Huh, we caught up. I'm not scared. I just have kids. All right. I have a family. You don't have kids yet. Like you can do more stuff. I told you to come to Philly like in 2 weeks, and you're not coming. So same thing. It's like a 5K, bro. I'm just saying. We're not going to talk about the new knowledge. We are. Listen, I just caught up with chat. We just had a great start to this. You guys made my first like half hour of the stream insanely easy. So thank you for that. I do mean that. But we have our coffee. I'm gonna need to check something real quick. Come over here. Okay. All right, that worked out. Whew. So, do you think that the cards not being reprinted will ever come back in the future? Well, that's a good shark, right? Let's listen. It's 11 a.m., but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And if you want to pour one out for our friends, okay, I'm gonna get it. But there's a lot of sadness in Disney Lorcana, guys, and it starts with the segment from the main stage the other day, in which we talked about cards that were confirmed not being reprinted in Disney Lorcana. Now, this is it. This is our first start. Rapunzel is gone. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I don't think in this format you could have ever reprinted Rapunzel. And I mean that. Like, I really like if anyone has really been paying attention to the format, there's just no way that you could have printed this card as a reprint. I'm sorry. It just would have been literally the best card ever, and there would have just been almost no downside to it. If Rapunzel was uninkable, like, maybe we can have that conversation. But she's not. She's inkable. And she's a 1/5. And she has 2 lore. And she can potentially draw you 3 cards. Like, it's just couldn't be done. Ariel Spectacular Singer, on the other hand, and I'm going to give a shout out to Steve Warner here, because I really liked his response as to why this card couldn't have been reprinted. And for those of you that weren't there and didn't hear it, what he had said was that Ariel Spectacular Singer it removed the variance from games. And that is a very key factor for the game devs in this. If you guys go back to the interview that I did with Steve, last fall at this point, which is kind of crazy. That's how long ago it was. We talked about variance in card games, and he was very against like non-variance formats. And I think that the conversation around Ariel kind of just fixating too much, removing variance from games, is a really good reason to not reprint her. It's hard to see that, but it really is just kind of true that, like, the amount of times that you play Ariel in 3, I know majority of us miss all the time. Ariel, she's voiceless. She can never, ever sing anything. But, like, the amount of times that you also just hit the card that you can sing and move the game forward is... It exists. It really does. And I think that it has done that literally since chapter 1. So I think that if that's the reason you don't want to reprint a card, it's completely fair. And I'm not saying that it's like 100% true, but if that's the reasoning, I can at least understand the reasoning. And that's really the big takeaway from a comment like that, is that Rapunzel, she has her own effect on every game. But Ariel, being a like on play, on curve card that gets you your next card that you can sing above curve, and it does that more than the average time that you would in any other game, it adds a level of variance that I think that at the end of the day, the game devs were not comfortable with. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, these 2 very wonderful princesses will be missed. Whew. Guys. All right. First of all, listen. This is false. Okay? Like, this comment, you make yourself look silly. Ravensburger, the company, makes puzzles. Spoilers, that's a whole other thing. Ravensburger Disney Lorcana makes trading card games, and they hired game devs from previous games to create games for Disney Lorcana. So don't come at me with this make puzzles, bro. No, to get out of here. Like, that comment is ridiculous. Stop it. Seriously. Madam M Fox, Merlin Goat. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, Madam M Fox was the first card in Disney Lorcana that I said was too good for the game. So while I think the card is actually perfect for this format, and I definitely could envision a world where it did get reprinted and it would have made sense, I think that it's so good, it's so dominant, it's been so dominant that it is time to move on. And by moving on, you really do open up a world of a conversation for 3-cost playable characters. You also open up another world for 2-cost playable characters, which is a big deal. Like, it's just, there's a lot less of ways to interact with the board on turn 3 right now. So because of that, this Fox not having rush, like, in all honesty, in the game itself, there's not a lot of rush characters in the format, right? So if there's already a low printing of rush in the format and Madam Mim was there, any other option just would have been completely voided. Like, they never would exist in rotation. You would just play Mim again for the next year. Like, there wouldn't even be an option. There wouldn't be a choice. So because of that, I think that's what Fox just had to go, period. Merlin Goat, I'll be honest, I think this card could have stayed. I don't think there's anything wrong with Merlin Goat whatsoever, aside from the fact that it's, again, one of those iconic characters that people have been playing forever. But this seems like a perfectly good card to leave in the game. But, whatever. We move on. No big deal. I know there's a lot of Sword and Stone players out there that are probably very, very sad. And I get that. I do get that. But it's okay. It's okay. We're going to find new Amethyst cards to enjoy. I promise. Yeah. Is there anyone in chat that are truly upset that Diablo and Prince John are not being reprinted? And you can be honest. It's fine. It's honestly, it's fine. You can be honest. I would love to know. I'd love to know how many players out there are really like, man, I'm so angry at Disney Lorcana for not reprinting these cards. My coffee. I think PJ without Sunchill would have been cool. Yeah, but they did reprint Sunchill. They did reprint Sunchill. Oh, this is a good one. Diablo and PJ never worked for me, always worked against me. Good riddance. Emerald big suck now. I love it. I love it. Alex, you're a liar. You're just a liar. So happy no Diablo and PJ. I literally played Sapphire Steel for 2 whole sets because I hated to lose the. Okay, fair. Yeah, he's a lie. He's a liar. Both were top of the chopping block. No questions, I think. Made my life miserable. Facts. My day when I saw the first time. Yeah. I think that these 2 cards, it's hard to argue if more games in Disney Lorcana were won by any other 2 cards. They're so dominant. They're so insane. And you just couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. There's obviously there's a lot of answers for Ward to begin with. You couldn't really even answer Prince John in sets 1 through 8, right? So there was just no chance for me that Prince John was ever going to get reprinted, in my humble opinion, because it removes the ability for them to ever make another playable discard card. And discarding cards isn't it sucks and people do not like it. But the problem with it in the game was Prince John. The idea that you can continuously just like fuel off discarding your opponent's cards, and then you get to the point where like it doesn't matter, you just have a 2 lore character eventually, is why Prince John was just clearly a problem. Bro, nobody played Grab Your Swords because you can't play a 5-cost uninkable song that gets removed from Emerald Deceiver that is already in their deck. Like, you stop it. All right, just stop it. So yeah, there's just not enough, right? And it's just itself. And then in a format with so much less removal, there's no way you could ever reprint Diablo. There's just no chance. Like, yeah. So I don't know. These two were the easiest two, I think, on the list to not get reprinted. In all honesty, like just no chance. Oh, all right. Now I think that this is the opposite. I think there's a lot of people out there that are very upset without Be Prepared. I think there's a lot less people out there upset about Sisu. I think most people are actually really excited to see Sisu go. I think that I'm going to make the same argument for both cards in a way, but the problem with both of these cards to me is that they each had the potential to be too one-sided. The idea that Be Prepared is singable, and then we were getting back to a kind of like a format that actually had singable Ruby characters, and specifically in a format with like a card like Powerline, where you could definitely get to that point. That's where I think Be Prepared has its big issues, is that if Be Prepared was not a song and you did always have to pay 7 for it, I actually think I can see it being reprinted. Like, it would not shock me if in the future there's like some 7-cost action that reads Banish All Characters. It would not shock me at all, because I think that card is completely fair for Disney Lorcana. On the other hand, Sisu is the complete opposite. Like, the idea that you can shift 6 on a Sisu or just pay 8 and banish your entire opponent's board and then still have a 5-4-3 lore in play, just no chance. Like, this card never should have been printed ever. That's my humble opinion. I think Sisu is one of the biggest mistakes in Disney Lorcana history. Like, absolutely, this card is just way too good, way too stupid, and way too one-sided for the game. So, like, see you later, Sisu. I will not miss you at all. But yeah, I think Be Prepared, on the other hand, when you push Ruby as a singer mechanic, I think that's all you guys have to know, right? Like, as soon as you read Powerline, you had to be like, man, there is no way that they're gonna reprint Be Prepared. Like, you can't like you can't shift in Powerline, sing a random song, and then go off the top four cards of your deck and then just find the Be Prepared. Like, you can't give that much reach to playing a board wipe, and that's like, it's literally just that. I will be interested to see if Powerline makes an impact in Infinity. I think that'll be cool. If that, like, all of a sudden becomes like a true deck in Infinity, I think that's an awesome win for Infinity for sure. Despise Brawl more. I have to can't agree. Whew. Yeah, Popsicle could never be reprinted, right? You know what's funny? What's not on this list, and this is a card that I kind of fought for. I'm really shocked that they removed so many of the playable items, but they didn't reprint Maurice's Workshop. I feel like item decks could have a chance if they reprinted Maurice's Workshop. So it's weird to me that we didn't get it, because I think if they wanted to just give any opportunity, any saving grace to Sapphire, then like Workshop is just it. Like, they could have just printed Maurice's Workshop and it would have been fine, but they didn't. So yeah, removing all these cards, like Fishbone Quill, obviously this is a card that has been broken since day one. It fundamentally breaks the game of Disney Lorcana on like every level. The idea that you can ink any card that you want, the idea that you can ink a card and it's ready, like, just the card is just absolutely insane. So that doesn't shock me at all that this card has been removed. Even if it wasn't the most dominant card, over the last 2 or 3 sets, it still fundamentally broke the game of Disney Lorcana in multiple ways on an inkable card. when you really, really look at that card, you got to be like, man, how is Fishbone Quill inkable? And yeah, I mean, Popsicle is Popsicle. Like, it's got to go. It's just that simple. It's got to go. See you later, Poppy. All right, so A Whole New World, we've known about A Whole New World for months. I was actually really shocked that they showed A Whole New World on this slide specifically, and I guess that is what it is. But Let the Storm Rage On, although we're in a format that has currently a very limited way to get a Singer on 2, like it is very, very limited, and you have to play some like kind of bad cards in your deck to even attempt to do it. Let the Storm Rage On is way too good, way too powerful, and I am very excited that it's gone. Not only is it good that it's gone, but it also opens up the door for so many other characters to see play again, and I think that that's the biggest win. Are they going? Are they? Yeah, of course they're still going to give it out. It's still in 2 Infinity, bro. 2 Infinity. But yeah, so that was that. I want to go, and then obviously we had one more. And listen, by now we know the whole set, so we know there's like a million cards, right? And this is the last one. So this is the final card, right? Like we got told that like, hey, Along Came Zeus also isn't coming back. Now this is another one where I actually think this is probably the toughest loss for Seal Song in the current metagame. Like in the core constructed metagame, there is a dangerously low, limited amount of ways to remove certain characters from the game, specifically Maui Shark. And I think without this card, if the control or like mid-rangey Maui Shark decks can figure out how to get control of the first 3-4 turns, not having a card like Along Came Zeus in the format is very dangerous. And I know we got World's Greatest Criminal Mind, but that's like another one of those cards. It's like kind of teetering. Most people weren't playing it to begin with, but now we might be like forced to play it just because of this reasoning. So yeah, I think that this is the one card that I would have liked to see be reprinted. I think there's a lot of argument to this card being reprinted and kind of keeping like a subset of the metagame healthy. So without it, I honestly think that this might be one of the more missed cards. Like in a few weeks after we played, like a fair amount of games in this format, I think that like not having Along Came Zeus is going to hurt way more than not having Let the Storm Rage On. Honestly. Whew. All right, so we got rid of all like those like they went out of their way to tell us that. I found it funny they didn't go out of their way to tell us that like Friends on the Other Side wasn't being reprinted. I don't know, guys. That card is pretty good. I think that that deserves some love. Like, oh yeah, by the way, leaving Friends on the Other Side, right? Any other cards out there you think kind of deserve like it's weird to me that that like they did this section in the main stage and they had like a specific set of cards and then like they did it again on the Lorecast. I feel like these posts, they could have been doing this over the last month and it would have been good. Like it would have been good social posts to have these like just like daily topic conversations. You also could have had, shout out to, again, I love all of Steve's work, but like he did those like dev diaries for a time to where like anytime something new comes out, like a new keyword or whatever, like he does like a little dev diary conversation, like any of that stuff would have been cool for this. Like there could have been some nice articles on the website. Like there's a lot more they could have done with rotation. And I think that that's what bums me out the most is that there was so much opportunity lost in like free content. Shout out to Dick Burns. I was hoping he would join me today, but it looks like he might be busy. But he had this great idea of not getting a reveal, but getting the opportunity to tell people what cards aren't being reprinted. And I think that Dick would have done so well in that. It would have been a perfect video for him to kind of do, and it would have been a lot of fun. Didn't happen. But yeah, I think that it would have been really, really cool if there was like some opportunity cost for just saying like, hey, this one's not coming back. Sorry. And then of course you just make the internet angry for the day. But like, hey man, it's like that's fine. You're gonna make the internet angry every day anyway. Let's be honest. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a bunch of cards that are not being reprinted that I think that you could have made a post for that, and it'd have been at least a nice conversation for the day. Dick Burns is good for the brand. I still find it silly they announced the whole new world not getting reprinted before Worlds. I agree. Bit weird. Oh, hot take. It's not a hot take. All right. Dick Burns is good for the brand. It's not a hot take. It was a hot take to say he was bad for the brand. Fact. That was a hot take. Oh, guys. Good chat so far this morning. Thank you guys again for hanging out with me. All my friends on Facebook, hitting that like, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, do the same thing. I do appreciate you guys. I stand by my take. You're wrong. Okay? Like, you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong and it's okay to stand by it, but you are wrong. It's not that vanilla shouldn't have epics. It's that all cards should have epics. Okay. Do you think Bleen? All right. First of all, can we talk about this? All right. I don't like the name Bleen. Not a fan. I think I dislike Bleen more than I dislike Blurple. I don't even really dislike Blurple for what it's worth. I think it's just I don't know. But Bleen, not a fan. I think the only thing I like is Baja Blast, and I know that that's also not very good. But I don't really like any of them. But yeah, do I think Emerald Sapphire grew? That's terrible. Spleen, also terrible. Do you think Bleen will be a force to reckon with if it can crack the Acromat? I mean, yeah, of course. I think that deck has always had that problem. Like in any metagame where you didn't have to focus on aggro with that deck was great. And that's been true since Azurite Sea. Yeah, I think since Azurite Sea, that deck kind of like started to come around. And I know that we played it in side events. I genuinely wish that I had the balls to play it in the last chance qualifier. I think if I had played it in the last chance qualifier, I might have 5-0'd. I wish I just had like 3 more days playing that deck. And I think I would have played it in the last chance qualifiers. So I do think the deck would have been very good for that weekend and for that tournament. But in like depending on like where your position is in the metagame, it's very difficult. And I think that while you can create a strategy for it, it's just not consistent enough to always hit it. And because of that, the deck is it's still going to have its shakiness. I think that there's a good chance that Sapphire Emerald is much better in week 4 than it is in week 1. Just because there'll be less hurdles to jump over, hopefully by then. So, I don't know. We'll see. Whew. They only announced the whole new world not being reprinted, not to confuse people. Oh, that's true. They won't even say his name on stream. I think at this point, if I'm being honest, and really what he needs to understand is that it's kind of part of the bit now. It's just a fact. No. Last call it Ocean Water. As someone who played Sapphire Items deck since set 1, I'm struggling to find a reason to play in this upcoming meta. That's very fair. Again, if that's the attachment you have to the game, it's difficult because I do think of all the strategies in Lorcana, items took the biggest hit for sure. It's not even close. Uses the name from Steven Universe, Sapphire Ruby Garnet. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I'm out. Seaweed. Seaweed's not bad. Seaweed's not bad. Welcome to Aggro Summer. All right, first of all, it's about to be fall. Just getting on this rotation in a few weeks. Any advice for deck building? Brad, I'm new. Is aggro going to take over in your opinion? All right, so if you're new to card games, I don't think aggro is going to take over. But my general rule of thumb is in the early developments, specifically of new metagames, aggro is normally king. And the reason why is because the average player that you will play in a tournament is doing all sorts of different things, right? The one thing is they're trying to take their deck that was still kind of okay, and they added a couple new cards, and they're just like testing them out. Like a lot of players just like to test out new cards and get a feel for them in open environments. The other thing that happens very often is that the average player will see a brand new archetype or a brand new card, and they're like, oh man, I really want to play that deck. I want to try this out. I want to get some feel for that. And the last thing, of course, is that control players don't like know exactly how to control the game to win yet, because all of the proper threats aren't presented to you. So when all of those things are going on, a lot of it is built on misinformation. And this is all about the average player. Okay. I'm not talking about the above average, the best players in the room. Like, we're not talking about those players, right? We're talking about the average player. So in a, 5, 6, 7 round tournament, how many times do you expect to play an above average player? If the answer is like 1, then you don't need to really like metagame the metagame that doesn't exist yet. You can probably just be the aggro deck and punish those players that are just like playing random new cards that don't know what they're doing, trying to build some control deck with all the wrong answers, trying to build like the mid-range deck with like the wrong cards to interact with the board that you're playing to. Like, there's just so many things that happen early on in a metagame that it just rewards you for being straightforward. Like, if you're not in the business of trying to like break something, then it's totally okay to go in with the most simple strategy and be successful. Let everyone else figure out the other stuff, and then go and try the new strategies after everyone's kind of like already set a bar for it. So that's like my best tip, is that like right now, Amber Steel aggro looks great. And guess what? It is great. Will there be answers to it? Yes. But will like every player in the room figure that out week 1? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. So that's kind of where I lean into. If you're a newer player, if you're not like crazy invested in deck building and things like that, like take the resources as they come, learn as you go, play the simple thing first, and learn from there. That's my biggest tip. Losing muses hurts a bit for Emeralds. I mean, it's fine. Nobody will miss Sisu. That's not nice. He's in Twitch chat. That's a joke for you, for all those involved. If aggro takes on over, I'm going to UTS people on turn 3. I hope that's true. Let's see it. Skywalker deck. Liked it. I like it. I can see that. Cookie Run, anyone? Cookie Run is fun. It is fun. I will say. I had a lot of fun with Cookie Run. We talked about this on the stream a couple weeks ago, but we played Cookie Run with Jeebus and DKP, and then Dick Burns and I. We all learned how to play the game. It was fun. Good times. Only at Gen Con. Aggro Autumn. I like it. Mid-range is where it's going to be, most likely. Oh, snaps. You need to be able to beat aggro. What up, TFM James? How you doing? Happy belated birthday, sir. Do you think we will see the wheel where aggro is terrifying, so every deck must build around it, and then a deck which built around beats? Yeah, that's an evolving metagame. So they definitely reach peak gameplay in being able to play anything and do well. Probably won't happen again until set 10 or 11. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I feel like right now we're in a very powered down format. So there is a chance that like the best cards are just the best cards, and like there won't be enough ways to compete. But I don't know if there's enough like synergy in just the best cards that will cripple the format. I feel like there's like, okay, there's a best card in this ink, there's a best card in that ink, there's a best card in this ink, like, and it's well spread out to where it's not like where, you know, as an example, like Emerald Steel, right, where it's like, okay, they have all the best songs and they have like some of the best characters in the game, and it's like for a period of time, it's just like you couldn't get around it. Same thing for Ruby Amethyst and Amber Steel for like their periods of dominance, like in the game, like they were just so overwhelmingly good that it didn't give enough opportunity cost to other strategies. I don't know that in this current format there are like that level of power in one particular ink combination that it will do that. So I think that there's a chance that maybe there will be some like more tier 1 stuff, but I do think that the tier 2 will probably be around about like enough to still feel pretty comfortable. But what I will say without a doubt is that the games will not play it anywhere like they are being played now. Like, you remove the Steel songs from the format and the entire format changes. You remove Be Prepared from the format and Ceaser from the format and the entire format changes. So like it'll still be, you know, a well-rounded format, but it'll play and feel very different. It always matters at time. Sure, set 8 aggro, huge end, but blue long run. Breaking stuff, OTK, FTK decks have always been my jam. I hope you figure that out. And listen, and like this is the other point here is that a lot of things that I do with my students, right? Because we have coaching here and through the Metafy, is that the first question I ask almost always is like, what is your goal? Right? Like every event, every set, you know, every period of time that you set for yourself, like you have to have a goal, right? So if your goal is to break stuff, then you kind of have to go with the mindset of like, hey, if my goal is to break stuff, then I need to take every opportunity to break stuff, which means in week 1, you might come in with a deck that's like not there. It's not complete, but the only way you can get it to be complete is by playing the deck in like in a tournament setting format. So like that's also very important. If that's the type of player you are and you want to break the format, you want to try and figure out like, how do I break the format? Then you got to take the bumps, right? And that's completely respectable way to play this game as well. And that's really what I know. Like it all depends on whatever your goals are in Disney Lorcana. Like whatever your goals are for a given tournament, whatever your goals are for a given week or 2 weeks or month or set, like things like that. As soon as you set your goal, you then every decision you make comes with that goal in mind. And I mean that every single decision. Like if your goal is like, man, I want to be the best Amethyst Ruby player in the game, well, that means every single tournament you play in, you play Amethyst Ruby. Period. Like that's what you got to do to be like to literally set that bar so high. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Is that like if your goal is to do that, then every opportunity you get, you do that. Just that simple. Amber is going to be strong. Tiana is very strong. What do you think is going to happen with Max Steel? Is this the are we talking about Maximus? What are we? I think we're talking about Maximus. I'll come back to you. I've been messing around with Ruby Sapphire Powerline week 1, though we're going aggro. Nice that Amber is still aggro. I don't have to worry about it a ton. Cinderella turn into Daisy Duck and to the bridge. Yeah, sure. I am hoping to play Blue Green Under the Sea. I love it. I know I'll have no issues with aggro decks. Very true. Very true. I think there are 3-4 viable decks to start with. I think there might be 5 or 6. These are good choices. These are good choices. Top 4 right there. Top 4. I think that's defensible. I think I can agree with Sisu on this one. Shout out to Sisu, by the way. He's coming. He's coming to our event on August 30th. I saw him register. This was the first time where the format was the most well-rounded and healthiest format we had. I think, and you know what's funny? People still disliked it. Facts. Some people saying Shark, some saying aggro. Those being close to opposite styles says it might be a good meta. I think it's going to be... it really depends on like your opinion of good. If like good is well-rounded, cool. If like good is fun, debatable. If good is strong and powerful, definitely debatable. So like it really is going to just be like an opinionated theory, I think. And I don't know like what you can say is true or not true, in all honesty. Oh boy. With one last hope, I don't know why you think that strongly. I think Ruby Steel is going to be fine and not have to play one last hope. All colors will be fine once the meta is figured out. Steel is weaker. Yeah, less removal in the format gives opportunity for everything in the format. That's what I'll say to that. I enjoy kill, then putting bigger characters out. Banish. We gotta say it right. Yeah, Tiana's great. Yes, no, not actually. I'm talking about Max Goof. Okay. Max Goof is. Are we talking about Emerald? Both Emerald. I'd like both Emerald Max Goofs. I think that the 6-cost one is okay, but it's good. It's like it's like the most fair Ursula Deceiver of all that we could ever imagine. So that's why I think that the card will still be fine. I think Daisy Duck is a trap. No, I think you're wrong. It's not a trap. Doesn't matter how many cards are in your opponent's hand if they don't help them win the game. And there's not enough good answers to like the stat lines of Amber Steel to where you should be worried about questing with Daisy Duck. Facts. Item deck on the yeah. You just gotta, you just take your. I don't have a deck box. I only have a heavy play here. Shout out to Heavy Play sponsors. You just gotta take it. You just gotta put it in the box, and then you just throw it. just throw it. I think Ruby still could sneak. I think Ruby's fine. Ruby Steel is fine. If the two best decks are opposite, the meta is usually bad. Interesting. Why do you think it's bad? What this is tough. What do you mean by opposite though? Like, this is hard to interpret, Braden. I'm sorry. I don't think Daisy is good in the meta. I think you guys are all wrong. Daisy is cracked. Speaking of making of goals, I pushed Ruby Steel hard within the last 2 sets. 9th at TCS. Yeah, Snake Chip. We talked about you earlier. I gave you a shout out earlier, bro. I think you're eating good. I think Ruby Steel is gonna be great. What 2-color decks do you think will be the meta in DLC October? I mean, that is so far away. Oh snaps! We got a guest on the house. We're gonna bring him in. I'm gonna put him in the hot seat right away. TFM Alex in the house. What is up? Somebody, you working from home today? Yo, bro, we have the same chair. I didn't realize that before.
Yeah, we've had the same chair for forever.
I know, and I just like now I just see it. I'm like, here, like, what's up? I'm putting you on the hot seat, bro.
Mm-hmm.
October is 6 weeks away. What do we got? What's our prediction right now?
Of what wins in Bologna?
What's the meta? The top 2 in the meta, the top 5 meta decks. So what do we got? Just 2 of them.
Purple Steel and Blurple.
I like those choices a lot. Amethyst Steel, I think is real good.
I'm legally contracted to say that though. So
you're legally.
That's my cop-out answer.
That's fair. New guide out on the Metafy. No. I do think it's very good. I think Sapphire Amethyst is very good. And I think what I really like about Sapphire Amethyst is that it's like same but different, right? Like it's the same but it's different. And I think that's cool. Whereas like Amethyst Steel is like the same but same.
Yeah, Amethyst Steel is the same but same, and then the other one is like we have it at home.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Pretty much the same thing.
It's like the Temu version of it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that terminology. Yeah.
Oh, so what are we doing on this fine morning? You come in and join me. How are you?
I'm good. Just working from home, and it's almost lunchtime, so I figure I can hop on. You look lonely, like my
I was
chat
you
face
know,
said.
my voice was
Wait,
starting to go. You know,
Dit ignored you. Melissa topped out. Ben's MIA. Orion's messaging in chat. Nunez is
yeah.
probably asleep. I don't know.
No,
It's
news is
just
working.
working.
News is
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
No,
But
but you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
But this has
and
been great. Shout out to Alex for coming to join me. But chat today has been on fire, Alex. I mean, you've been there. You've been hanging out. For those chaotic, if you haven't figured it out yet. Dan looks lonely. Nice. Chat has been absolute fire. It has made this stream way easier. I love coming on here and having these streams where I don't even have to do anything. I just respond to chat for like 90 minutes. It's great.
yeah,
It's
you're an
totally
official
great.
streamer now. That's literally all they do. It's great.
Sometimes,
And
yeah.
I also was like pushed to come on because I heard a lot of Daisy Duck hate.
Oh
And
yeah, go for
that's
it.
crazy.
You can have it. All right.
That is so bad.
I'm gonna let you take over for a minute.
Daisy Duck is the best card right now, starting off in Fabled, because there are very few answers to it. It doesn't matter how many cards your opponent has if they cannot beat you in time. And Daisy Duck, like if your opponent opens Triple Daisy and then like beats you on turn 4, you literally just lose the game because there's not enough characters that have Rush, Set, and Challenge, and Under the Sea doesn't work with beat. So like they literally are at what 12, 11 lore on turn 4, and then if they drop a Pete, you're just dead. So like yeah, I don't know, like Daisy, double Daisy, triple Daisy openings will literally feed families still. So it's
Well, I
on
mean,
people to figure that out.
it's
On how to
worse, right?
prevent it.
Because now we also got this sweet new card called Nala, and she's insane.
It's Piblet at home, right? Like it's uninkable now, but like it has resist,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. 3 lore on a character with resist is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Kind of insane.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then Blader Magician. I don't know how to highlight.
Hold on, I'll keep going. Look at.
No, the next one from him.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Or her.
I listen. I'm pretty far behind. We'll catch up.
Okay. All right. That's
all
fine.
right. So Braden says if you can't attack both decks. Okay. Yeah. So I do agree. I think it's interesting, right? Because I mean, this was clarifying his comment earlier, but it's basically saying like if one deck is ultra mega control, the other deck is ultra mega aggro, it's hard for like mid range to like find a happy place, right? And I think for me that creates like the rock paper scissors of it all. And I know that most people don't like those types of format, but what I think the pro of that type of format is that it makes players they don't feel obligated to play one or the other. There's still like a choice involved. And that's why I don't necessarily dislike those types of format, but I understand why a subset of players would. I totally get that. We have a hot. Oh, go ahead. You can add on. You can add on.
No, it's fine. I don't want to pick on Braden right now. I'll leave it.
Okay, that's fair. My hot take prediction, but Hades is going to become the format's big bad. All of them.
Hades is pretty good.
You can just say Hades is good, and it could mean like 4 different cards, I think.
Yeah, as I said, Hades is pretty good. Doesn't matter which one you pitch, they're pretty good.
This is false. This comment is false. I made a comment in the team Discord, and you could have come on.
That's a tough look.
Like you had this option. I don't know what this means. Scott also had this option. Like people had this option. I'm a stan. That's fair. You can be a stan. You're sounding like a sports talk radio host.
Valid.
Which Daisy are we talking? The one that has 2 lore, 4 willpower. Turn it sideways.
I mean,
turn it sideways.
Rob made the other Daisy look good too. So
that's true. And that card's reprinted. Glad we could help make it. Yeah, you guys have been absolutely crushing it. Donate date. Oh, Donald State. Yes. Give everyone presents. That's fine. They need it. So I need UTS on turn 3. Gotcha.
This one. That one might be hard to do.
Oh, okay.
That one might be a little tough. I will say. So.
So what are our options for this? Like, is this possible?
No.
There is no.
It's
There's
possible
no
on turn.
goons, right? Like, I'm trying to think, like, off the top of my head. Like, there's no goons that we can shift on turn 3, right? Just like, does this exist?
Robin, but that's a 2-drop now. So like, yeah,
Is
also it's a
there?
different color. So never mind. His power line is 4. You do on 4 with
Yeah, power
line.
line's 4,
You can
right?
also do
Always. Is
do
there?
it on
And there?
4 with
There's
double
no.
stinger.
There's no 1-cost power line, right?
No, not that we
Right.
know of.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now for turn 3, Under the Sea.
And then you play dodge and they just steal it on turn 4. Like, then you just lose. So yeah, I guess turn 3 would be better.
Yes, I did mention you earlier.
So.
Amber Steel, Amethyst, Sapphire, I think will dominate 2 early on, and Ruby, James, you haven't been in TFM chat in like a month. What do you know about Ruby Sapphire that I don't?
I would also like to know. DM.
Oh snaps! We're getting more friends. We're getting more friends.
See, you called me out, so here I am.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
I also can't hear, so hang on.
Oh, he can't hear. Yeah, can't hear.
Ask and you shall receive. Here we go.
If you're speaking, I can't hear you. Hang on.
All right, we'll remove you. Let me know when you're ready. She's better though. Wait, you're surprised that Ruby lost both Brawl and Teeth? I'm surprised they lost Teeth and Ambition. If I'm being honest,
I think Teeth would have been fine.
Teeth would have been. Teeth would have made Queen of Hearts like even better. Ooh, that'd have been cool.
Teeth would have been fine. I would have loved Teeth.
I think Teeth is probably fair. I think Teeth is one of the more fair songs. So like, yeah, like reprinting Teeth would not have shocked me at all. Brawl.
If you reprint Brawl, you can't reprint Sisu. Is that like the thing? The trade-off? Like you would only have.
Yeah, I just think like Sisu is the fair one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that like Brawl isn't unfair, but like it does check way more things.
And you can't get it back with Shark. So
that is also true. You can't get back Sisu with Shark. Yeah. So I think it's probably fine. Does he fix it? Yeah. Good now. He fixed it. All right, we'll bring him back. He's here. Scott, what's up? How are you doing on this fine morning?
Good. Taking a break from work.
Smart. Any interesting takes from anything that's happened so far in the stream that you would like to discuss before I move forward?
No, I've been commenting, so you've got my takes.
That's fair. Amber Steel needs no Pete. My Champman says. That's impressive.
I don't know what.
But I do think this brings up a good point.
Okay.
Like I do think that the complaining, which I've already commented on, like when the stream first started, of what's playable and what isn't playable is different for like the 5% of players versus the 95% of players.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how much you went into that, but like the format's going to be fine for 98% of the players, in my opinion.
I agree.
So I think anything else is like, I don't know, just where I'm at.
What? What?
61 cards for sure.
61. 61 chaotic Colby special. And that's fine. Let's move on. What's the take on 10-drop Mickey Reanimator in return? What is with the Return of Hercules, Keith? You're obsessed. You're obsessed. I think that someone is going to put this card into play somewhere, without a doubt. I think that Circle of Life is hoping to do it. I think that this deck is hoping to do it. Whether or not it's consistent is the true debate, right? That's kind of where we're at.
Can you even still beat aggro when you do that? Like, who cares? You have
no
body. That,
no, I think you're already dead probably. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Lewis does take a turn. Can we fight enough to? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not convinced.
I think what And here's a fun piece of info, but I think we learned that like Lewis's best counter is quite literally just Calhoun, right?
Yeah.
So like if you're going against an aggro deck and they play Calhoun on 2, and like you don't want to Lewis on 3, right? So like,
well, the debate is like, I think that's going to be the constant debate, and I did talk about this actually in the Amethyst Steel Guide, where you have these answers for Lewis built into your deck, and now you create these points where the person playing Lewis has to make like a decision, like what do I do on turn 3 if I can't Lewis? Like if my only play in every game is turn 3 Lewis, what do I do if I can't? And then it becomes like, well, do I just have to? Like, do I just have to give up to a Calhoun? Like do I just have to give up to a Captain Hook, right? Like that might be the answer, is that like you just might like you just like got to, because if you don't, you're dead anyway. So that's like really tough. And I think that'll be like the layer on top of the layer of like where the metagame gets to, you know? That's tough. It's tough. Braden, we love you. Kind of, sort of, maybe. He really come in on 2 different platforms to ask the same question? Keith. I'm upstairs. You could. Oh, come on. Come on. I just can't win, guys. I can't win. Daisy into Nala. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Building my first deck this rotation. Any tips? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but you know, we got 2 other players on. They can give you some tips. Go ahead. You know, you guys can have some fun.
I would just say play the best cards to start with. Like I think when you have underpowered formats, some of the best cards just come forward, as opposed to like thinking it's just going to flow from turns 1 through whatever, like seamlessly. A lot of times in powered down formats, you just play the best cards.
That makes sense. I would pick a deck style that you like, and then play the best cards in that deck style. Don't force yourself to play aggro if you hate aggro. You're not gonna have any fun.
It's true. Yeah, I think you know, Nunez just had an article that came out in the Disney Lorcana Foundation's free guide that we have on Metafy, and it literally just is like, hey, I played like 10 different decks at set championships, which is absolutely crazy, and at the end of all of it, he's just like, yeah, the decks with the good cards won. Like, you know, like sometimes you want to be fun, you want to be creative, and there's definitely a time and place for those things, but if your goal is to make top cut, if your goal is to like win the tournament, specifically early on, just go with the best information that you know, and just be like, I know that these cards are good. I'm not gambling on whether or not this tech card is going to like be relevant. Like, I'm just going to play the best cards in these 60 or 61 cards. My bad. Didn't mean to offend Alex. That, you know, that just win games. So I think it's just keep it simple to start. Don't go crazy. Baymax Universal Shift. That was it. That's what we missed. Yeah. So it's like any 1 cost and then a 2 cost and then shift onto 1 cost for turn 3. Okay.
That's green blue. Is Baymax a 6 or is he a 5?
He's a 6.
You guys were a 3, right?
Oh wait, well no, you TPO on 2.
Sure.
So 1 cost inkable.
TPO.
Yeah. So 1 cost inkable, 2 cost TPO into an ink, and then turn 3 shift onto the 1 cost and then sing under the sea. We did it. Metasoft.
4-card combo, not bad actually.
Metasoft, bro. Metasoft. No, it like I listen, you guys have seen it. I've had Universal Baymax in some of my Emerald Sapphire lists. It's a thing. I didn't think about it for that reasoning, but it's a thing. So I like 5/5s on turn 3 that like that challenge right away. But you know, singing under the sea, notable. Oh, shout out! First of all, shout out to Keith. I think he's broken, guys. But thank you for the super chat. He really wants us to build this deck.
He loves getting giant fatties into play. Timmy to the core.
I mean, he's been playing this deck for like 6 months, it feels like. Man, I'm so far behind that everyone's like catching up to this chat. My bad, guys. We had friends. It's also possible with Emerald Amber.
Yeah, with Singer. Like Vanessa.
Yes.
With Vanessa.
No, we still need a shift, right? Someone else. Maybe let's see. I don't know. Vanessa plus shift. Yeah, but like, who's the shift? Like, what shift do we have in the game that we can shift? Like, what? I feel like there's no goons left. Are there any goons left that still shift? That's what I'm not sure about.
Basil costs 4 to shift, right? 4 or 5 or something.
Basil, it costs 4. Yeah, I'm not good with tech. Sorry. Can someone who likes Purple Steel explain how you beat Amber Steel? Yeah, there's a guide for it. There's a lot of Amethyst Steel. There's a lot of Amethyst Steel content coming on the channel because I am a firm believer. Good morning, Kim, our friend from the West Coast. How are you doing? More than 60 cards in a deck is.
I'm not arguing that point. Like, I agree. It is what it is.
Shots fired. We got some friendly team fire here. Oh man. Learning TCGs is learning to drive. It takes time and experience on the road to get better at it. Eventually it becomes instinct. I'm going to put my wife on blast for a second here. You know, we have this conversation all the time where, you know, she plays, she gets really comfortable at home, and then like we'll go to a tournament, she doesn't do very well. And what I have to keep nailing down to her is that, like, listen, when I first started playing card games, I lost a lot. Like, it's so difficult to just show up and be good at card games. Like, it really is. And the one thing that you cannot teach is experience. Like, you can't teach it. It's impossible. A lot of players that you see that are successful in the game today, the card games are like a habit. Like they're just like second nature decisions. Everything about the game is already ingrained in them because of years and years and years of participation in trading card games. So with Disney Lorcana, the game is like, it's a lot of people that I meet. It's their first game. Like, it's their only game that they've ever played. Now I need to go get my dog. Like, just Kylie, send Bay down. Yeah. So it's just like, hey, you gotta play. You gotta keep playing. It'll be fine. And that's really, it's tough. It's tough to accept that, but the only way to get better is through practice. It's just that simple. I think I hear Bay might be coming down. Yeah, Keith is on the struggle bus. Brandon's not that bad right now. Play mid range, big bad. Don't miss curve. Play captains, Calhoun, Tinker. Yeah, these are all good options. Reanimator was really fun deck when I played. Yeah, it was. People love that type of play style. I don't like. Obviously, Circle of Life is the first time that I think it might be truly playable in this deck, but I still think it's kind of difficult. Tough to say. Rhino is the answer, guys. No, you can't Rhino. Rhino. Right, yeah, that's 3 colors, guys. That's 3 colors. This is 3 colors, fam. Like, don't work.
You can do it with Lady. I think it was said in the chat, but you could like play 1-drop Lady, play Vanessa, play Shift Lady to Sing Under the Sea, and then
look at this.
I don't know what that is really doing at that point, but yeah, to your point, that is possible.
I'm late, but I have the hoagie.
She thought she was in trouble. She went downstairs.
You're fine. Where's the corgi? Yeah, see, we got her. We got the corgi. We got her. There she is.
Way to put my life on blast.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Rude.
I'd argue it's not learning to drive, and TCGs can be amazing, then go O2 drop the next day. Please don't learn to drive and then continuously crash.
Fair.
That is so true. Let's say riding a bike. All right, if we fall on a bike, it's okay.
Not one of those e-bikes.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. You got me.
I want a T-shirt with this on it. Actually, that was hilarious. That was pretty good.
That was This is hilarious. Actually, touche. Thank you, Allie. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning, Allie. All experience is not equal. Montana set champs and SoCal set champs aren't the same. I believe you. I believe you. I was asking about Rhino for a different reason. They also doesn't work. Okay. Yes, the Corgi love. It's Bay. This is Bailey. We love her. All right. We caught up. Experience was the point. So yeah. Great chat this morning.
You should also do it with Vanellope. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at shifts now.
Ooh, Vanellope is the answer then, right? Because she's shift 2, right?
Yeah, Vanellope, Ursula, Vanellope plus something.
Okay. So a bunch of amber cards to sing it.
Yeah, and I don't know what you're doing after that, but yeah.
Well, you got rid of their 1 cost and their 2 cost character. If we're lucky, they're 3 cost character. Yeah, I guess you can do it. That's fair. It works out. The point is that you can do it, and I was missing that. So yeah, well, that's fair. I don't know how reliable it is, but it can be a part of the plan. Oh, so Scott, while we have you here, it's been a while.
Yes.
How are the financial sides of Fabled looking? Where are we at? I know you just had a wonderful article in the finance guide that went up, and it was just like even you were shocked by what's going on right now.
Yeah, there's the current financial situation in Lorcana just shocks me. I don't understand why a lot of the reprinted legendaries, for example, are so high up in value, because they're going to be reprinted. The only thing I can think of is because what you need to understand in the market is like, yes, you may not get one in the box that you open. Like you may not get a Hades in the box that, even if you open a box, which I don't recommend, by the way, spoiler. But people like us are still going to have to open a ton of boxes. So the market will still have a ton of these cards out in it, even if you don't personally open them. And the new versions of those legendaries with the foil embossing, I mean, whatever, not foil embossing, just regular embossing that's on them, even if it's not a foil. In addition to more foils being out there, etc. Like, I still believe, even if Fabled is shorter printed, it's still going to be more printed than first chapter was.
Yes.
Probably. So, like, there's
going... Scott? They still have, like, tens of thousands of first chapter boxes they're going to release every year.
So, so it's not whether or not, like, if you're saying, if the argument is people want to play with the old versions, then we're back into a collector's argument again. Because any player shouldn't care about that. Any, like, competitive player should not care about that. Sure. Because you just want to get the cards as cheap as possible to make sure that you're like whatever. So it depends on what type of player you are. But the fact of the matter still is like there's going to be more of this stuff out there. And I don't understand why they're rising in value now. Unless you absolutely need them day one, you don't think you're going to be able to get like the cards.
What's interesting,
that might be part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
People
what's interesting to me is
products, so.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But we will open the product. Like people like us, we'll have to open the product. So
yeah. It's not. But the point is, so there's lots about the foiling. It's not even about the foiling though.
Right.
We're talking about just like the normal cards.
Right.
Like we're not even getting in the conversation of like whatever a foil legendary Hades from set 1 cost, right? Like which is probably way more than it ever has been. This is just talking about like, hey, these legendaries are about to be reprinted 10x from what they are before, and the normal version is like 300% increase in price or something like that.
Right.
That I agree is like, I don't know, like the weirdest version of FOMO ever,
Yeah.
It's just like why would I pay $30 for a legendary that's probably going to be $10?
Well,
that's tough.
Yes.
It's tough.
So,
and then the other thing is, this is kind of like on that conversation of like, what type of Lorcana player are you? But when you have the, a lot of these cards were good, it's not like, it's not like Sheriff of Nottingham is bad. It's not like Hades was bad. Like these are cards that are seeing play still, So it's funny that like, there's such an increase in surge of those cards being bought, even though you're like, man, like what happened here?
But I will say, all the doom and gloom out there is completely false. Like the Lorcana market in general is way up.
Yeah.
Like I've had more sales this week than I've probably had in sets 6, 7, or 8. And that's without restocking anything. I can show you how much needs to be restocked if someone would like to come over to my house and help me.
You don't
But
need to ship you. I know.
But I can tell you that like without restocking, the number of sales are insane over this past week. So the overall Lorcana community, or just I don't even know if people are part of the Lorcana community, is very psyched for Fabled. And I do believe that like the collector set mentality, if you have like in Magic, or the every set in Pokemon is like this, like about like trying to open lottery tickets basically, is going to be huge in Fabled. And it would not surprise me in the least if boxes of this set will increase in value. The only set since the first chapter that the boxes will increase in value. Yeah. If you hold them sealed.
Alex, what about like the LGS community? I know for you, you have a pretty popular area. I think you play like 3 nights a week or something like that. Have you seen an increase now that we're like closer to rotation? Where's that vibe at?
Luckily we've seen a decrease.
Right.
But it's not people
I
leaving
assume
the game, it's people saying, I'll be back.
Okay.
Release weekend. Like stuff like that. So I think people are just done with playing the decks that they've been playing for 6 sets or whatever, right? So but I think we've had a lot of interest in like week 1 like sealed events, draft events. We have a lot of people in the Columbus area who like doing drafted and sealed and limited formats. So typically they only come out to those, and then you have like the constructed people. So but I think with rotation we'll see a lot more newer or people we haven't seen in a while. So that'll be good.
That's good.
Yep.
Stuff to say.
Yeah. Other than that, like I think we have locals like every day here. I think we have like 8 or 9 card shops in like the 25-mile radius around Columbus that have OP stuff.
Yeah.
So which is, it's kind of hard to get numbers too, because they have them on the same day, so you split your numbers. So which kind of sucks for set champ season too, because we we have like 3 on the same day, and we're like, okay, great.
Like, oh, that's you guys talked about this, huh?
Yeah, that's what they do. They love talking. TCG store owners love talking to people.
Yeah. That's true. Well, this is good to hear. What we got? There are a lot of new players that are excited for Fabled in the DFW area, which is exciting to see. Yeah, that area is massive. So,
and I think to their like this point of getting new people in, and I think we've seen it like online too, is especially with like the new set and like the new enchanteds and the new IPs. I think just getting new IPs into the game is gonna bring a ton of people in. Like, I saw a bunch of people who've never played Lorcana before freak out about like the Goofy movie stuff and like the Toy Story, like, oh, Toy Story might be in the game, and they're freaking out. So
yeah, that's like the funniest thing. That now you're like, we're 2 years in, right? And you still get people like, oh, how isn't this in the game yet? How isn't this in the game yet? And Powerline, I think, is definitely showcasing to me the exact reason why you don't have everything in one set. Because now here you are 2 years. Obviously, there's a rotation and anything like that, but it's also this iconic IP that is bringing a bunch of new people into the game. And obviously Pixar is its own other thing, which is, sometime next year at this point. But it's crazy that here we are going into set 9, brand new IP coming to the game, and you can just see that there's people excited for that just because it's that, And it's funny because it's what, like, I don't know, 8 cards or something, maybe 10 cards. I don't know how many cards it is, but like, it's not a whole lot of them, right?
I think the first 2 sets of the game set an expectation that was never really supposed to happen, where like there wasn't some background story. It was just like, we're going to throw Disney stuff in you, and next set we're going to throw different Disney stuff in you. That's how I interpreted it when the game first started, but that's not what they were doing. There was actually like a story. When you have that, then like, and you have characters in this story, a lot of the characters just get reprinted over and over again because they're actually acting like in the story. Like,
right.
Like, how many Ariels and Ursulas do we have in Ursula's Return? It's because there was a Ariel versus Ursula like sub theme to it, you know. So it's like when we used to play Transformers and they said we have to have an Optimus, Megatron, Starscream.
Like literally, you have to have this in every set because every story is around them. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah, and I guess like in an IP like this large, you know, obviously, I think that even the game devs themselves would probably be able to tell you it's tough to have a story and game design, right? Like you have to have someone else kind of doing like telling you the story so you can build for it. And I do agree that in those first couple sets, they didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they probably just got approved for like some of the most iconic characters in Disney, and they're like, yeah, just go do something with this, and then we'll play it by ear. And I think that you definitely see that coming through. I feel like Ursula Return is true. I feel like Shimmering Skies was really where it all kind of like from
That's
there.
true.
Like Shimmering Skies on, you could just tell every set had a story to it, which is really cool. So it's nice to see that it did. Like I mean, this is again 2 years ago, but I don't even remember there being like Illumineers in the first two sets. Like I don't even remember that conversation about them at all. You know, I feel like that didn't happen until a couple months into the game. And I might be wrong, but I don't really remember them. You know,
there was very subtle stuff in the background.
Yeah, like there might have been like flavor text and stuff that like led to it, but nothing to the extent of like what we have now.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't know. Very interesting though. But we're 2 weeks away, which is cool. What do we have? We have exactly. And then you also have to match Disney movie anniversaries and release schedules. But yeah, there's that too. Well, they've also done a good job of that though, right? Like we got Moana, like in a set around Moana with a Moana movie, and then we're doing it again
with the Goofy movie
with the Goofy movie release, and then it's also in set 10. What do we have in set 10? What movie comes out in the fall?
I have no idea.
We just know Angel, right? Based on like the little thing.
There's a new movie that I thought maybe it was there. I forget. I feel like I think there's cards in set 9 that like represent something going on in the fall, but I might be wrong. Zootopia. Zootopia. Yeah. Because that's right. We saw Nick Wilde.
Yeah,
we saw Nick Wilde and stuff. I knew it wasn't crazy. Right. Thank you guys for
Judy. And Judy's there too.
Yeah. Thank you. You guys helped.
Not crazy about that. But like, I don't know if that's a blanket statement.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's but like clearly we've gotten to that point that now we're planning around movies also, which is like that's great for the game. Like the idea that they handed out a Moana card at movie theaters, like granted, I know a bunch of them got thrown in the trash. I get that. But even if it was like 1% of said, wow, I wonder what this is, and then they Googled it, that's what they're doing it for. Like movies are massive. You're talking about millions upon millions of views at movies that you're just handing a card out. Obviously, they're not handing out millions of these cards because there's a limited amount. But even if it's the first 1,000 of every theater, that's a lot. That adds up. So I think that's really cool too. That's a game changer. I think it's been proven that every set has kind of had a game changer for the most part. Gotta hop off for work. Thank you, Dad Kana. Adios, sir. We are starting to land the plane here for sure because I have to go to work tonight as well, and I need to be rested. But it's been fun. Thank you guys for joining me. Any final comments as we come in 2 weeks from Fabled? I think the full set's been revealed officially, which took I think 3 days longer than it was supposed to, but that's life. Hot takes or final thoughts on the full set of Fabled, Scott?
I mean, I heard you mention when I was food shopping about how crazy like the next 8 weeks to 10 weeks are going to be, and I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
Whispers in the Well is like very, very short period of time after Fabled. But like you said, there's 2 DLCs that involve the Fabled metagame before that, and you also mentioned like a ton of events that there are between now and then. So I think we're just starting with everything. It's from now till the end of the year is going to be pretty nonstop. I think maybe we get. I think maybe the first 3 weeks of November, the only time we could take a break. Like before PAX, in between set chance of PAX Unplugged. Yeah,
Like,
a break. Maybe like a break, you know. So it's gonna be crazy, I think, from now until until
Yeah, I think right now will be the most quiet period of Disney Lorcana.
Yeah, for the next week and a half.
And then it's just gonna be like rocket to the moon.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy.
So I'm very excited.
I'm excited to just go to DLCs. I really am. Like we Gen Con was kind of a tease. And there was a lot of community at Gen Con, and I would probably say there was more of like a DLC feeling at Gen Con than there was like at any of the third-party events I'd gone to, because the third-party events are mostly just, you know, the hyper competitive players that are traveling and trying to play these games, where Gen Con felt more social and felt like more like that community that like Disney Lorcana is really trying to become and trying to be. And getting to, I mean, obviously going to Bologna is a whole other thing, right? Like we have yet to go to a foreign event for Disney Lorcana. So like that is an adventure in itself. But even just Milwaukee, just having them again and seeing what a room of 3,000-ish players for Disney Lorcana looks like, I'm just excited for that. It's going to be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I think next week we will probably hear about the North American CCQs, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like, because I think that is a great idea. Like, that I haven't been on here to talk about it, but like that is, to me, that's like a game-changing idea for organized play, in my opinion, to support that with potential, like, I know they mentioned before, like, oh, you'll get promos and things like that. That is a huge thing. Like, you are helping the community, you are helping the game organizers, like you're the tournament organizers and all. Like, that's a game changer, in my opinion. So like, if there's any of those before the end of the year, I guess my stance on taking a break is never going to happen. So
that's what I said.
Right, exactly. I'm never going to get a break.
Like those first few weeks in November look like a real good opportunity.
Retirement is looking like a much better idea as time goes. Not from Lorcana, for my real job.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but yeah, I you know, on the JDZ Lorecast coming up, you know, from here on out,
Yeah, that's true.
Coop is going to be on next week, and
Yeah.
we have to assume we get any type of CCQ news from North America. That would be ideal and nice. And if it's not, it's not. I totally get that too. But at least we're going to hear a little bit more about maybe the whole process, even if it just gives organizers more opportunity to understand how to do it. I think that's all healthy and all good. So I definitely look forward to that one for sure. I think in general, they've been fine, right? Like, I think that Greg kind of explained it. I'll tell you what, shout out to Liam and the Illumineers. He had a great interview with Greg over on their YouTube channel, and really just address what the Lorecast is. And if you haven't listened to that, I would definitely go check it out, because it's just like Greg kind of just explaining his goals for what it is. And I think that if those are the goals, it's definitely it's doing that. And I think that that's important. So yeah, definitely shout out to Liam over there, because I thought that was a really good interview. And honestly, Liam and Aaron, they both had good interviews with Elaine and Coop as well. So lots of really good little, and we're talking about like minimal, like 10, 15-minute interviews, nothing crazy, just like tidbits of information that are definitely good and helpful. So I would go check them out.
Having interviewed people at Gen Con before, I can say they did a great job with the sound.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it just, there's, you know, and
you couldn't hear it at all, so that was great. I really thought it was like
listen,
awesome.
I have those Rode mics. They're phenomenal. Like they are phenomenal. So, Alex, 2 weeks till Fabled. Are we muted? Can we not come on and talk? Because you're
No,
muted.
I
Oh.
was waiting for a question. You're just like 2 weeks
Yeah,
of Fabled, and I was like,
what
nope.
how are we gonna spend these last 2 weeks? How are we preparing for Fabled?
Well, to start your point earlier, we got a lot going on after. So this week I'm cleaning my house and getting everything ready to be gone every weekend for like 2.5 months. So for competitive players, especially like in the Midwest or East Coast, especially, it's got a lot going on. So I think this weekend is free. Next weekend is our last hurrah. There's a tournament for set 8 locally, or an hour away in Dayton, that I'll go to kind of send off before rotation.
Before he buries his A Whole New Worlds?
Yep. They're gonna go outside in the backyard, in a time box. We're gonna do that in 50 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then release weekend, I can't come to Philly. I have a wedding to go to, so I will not be able to go. But we'll hopefully do some products, because then it's just busy. CCS, Denver, Detroit, Bologna, and you have set champs in between, like Bologna and
Don't even get me started with set championships, bro. All right, I don't even want to think about them.
I'm just sad I only get to play in 4, and it's the Maleficent one.
Yeah, I have already established. Unfortunately, I have a wedding in the weekend between Bologna and Milwaukee. So like,
yeah,
I'm just not gonna play. Like I literally I don't even know I'm gonna be able to play in set championships, which is depressing. It is depressing.
Yeah, and then we'll see what CCQs are, and we'll go from there. And so just gonna spend time with my dog and my cats. Make sure they know that I love them, and then I just won't see them for a while. So.
Yeah,
but no, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. It'll be like a kind of like a breath of fresh air, being able to play a bunch of decks that wouldn't have seen the light of day if Rapunzel got reprinted, or if B-Prep got reprinted, stuff like that. So a lot more choices to be made now, and maybe we'll see something really cool like we did in the first DLC in Atlanta, where that Amber Amethyst that one. Maybe we'll see something cool like that again. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that it's really funny, right? The third-party organizers have done such a great job since Continentals this year, right? Where like every set comes out and the first 3 weeks are filled with events that you could go to and play. But this time, we get that backed up with also DLCs. Like now it just feels like it's literally just not going to end. Like, you're just like it's going to start, and then before you know it, set 10 will be out, and you'll be like, all right, like what happened? And like the only reason why I think it's going to be different for set 10 is because of Christmas. Like, honestly, I think that you're going to have those 2-3 weeks at the end of the year that you're like, all right, this is my break and holiday because it's the holidays. But it would not shock me that, like we already know that Pro Play Games has an event the 11th and 12th of December. So like that's in Orlando, right? Like great. We know that I think CCS also has their dates announced for December as well, if I remember correctly. So like we already know that those 2 events are already happening. So by the time we even get around to it, you might literally just go right back into it, which is a pretty never-ending loop that I think that the next 3-4 months of Disney Lorcana they're going to be nonstop. So yeah, buckle up. Infinity Week in December. Yeah, PPG is the same weekend as that game weekend. So, but I have to give one more shout out to the chat. You guys were absolutely awesome. You carried me until Alex and Scott got on. Thank you to Alex and Scott for joining me. It was a fun morning. It was kind of impromptu. Yesterday we were supposed to have a stream, but I had to work, so it didn't work out. And I figured, hey, I get on there. Coming to DCI. What is DCI? Is anyone coming to DCI? I don't know what DCI is. Probably not. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out with us this morning. A lot of fun. And it was an absolute blast. A lot of great conversation. If you missed it, you're at the end. You can kind of go and catch all that stuff in the beginning. If you are coming in after the fact, you want to leave a comment, anything like that on the video on YouTube, thank you guys so much. Again, likes. We're not. I tell you what, though, I do love the Diet Coke Invitational. We were big advocates for it when on the first time around. A lot of fun, creative, super awesome. But no, we're not coming. Sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah. With that, adios, guys. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, chat. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.